Now we really get into the mainstream at number 11, a jazz piece by the George Cates Orchestra, Moonglow, something for the adults on WJJD's playlist. You got the rock and roll, Rip It Up by Little Richard, Blue Suede Shoes by Carl Perkins. Now, a 35-year-old listening to this in 1956, let's say a 35-year-old tuned at WJJD, he hears Blue Suede Shoes, he said, God, this is horrible. This is not music. This is jungle music. I mean, this is rubbish. This is trash. And then he hears Rip It Up by Little Richard. He said, I can't stand this. But then he hangs on for a few more minutes and he hears the Platters. And the Platters, okay, this is a little bit better. And then he hears this George Cates record, Moonglow. He said, okay, this is more like it. That's what that 35-year-old is saying in 1956. This is more like it, Moonglow. George Cates goes back. The guy was born in 1911. He was 45 when this record came out. Pretty young, pretty much over the hill as far as being a rock and roll performer is concerned. But that's irrelevant. He was the musical director of the Lawrence Welk Show. He conducted the orchestra behind the scenes during rehearsals. But in 1973, Lawrence Welk himself asked George Cates, can you conduct the orchestra on camera? And George Cates said, yeah, I'll do it. And he did until the show closed down. I can't think of canceled. I can't think of the right word for it until the show ended in 1982. The song, now let's talk about Moonglow. This Moonglow goes back. Indeed, it would be nostalgic for a 35-year-old in 1956 because that 35-year-old in 1956 would be about 12 or 13 in 1933 when this tune first came out. It was first performed by Joe Venuti and his orchestra in 1933. Venuti, in case I'm mispronouncing the word, is Venuti. But then in 1934, there was about 4 top 10 versions of Moonglow, among them conducted by Benny Goodman and his orchestra, along with Ethel Waters. 1951, Billie Holiday did a version of Moonglow, and now you got George Cates coming back with it in 1956. But now his take is a little different. He does Moonglow. It's a medley. Moonglow with theme from Picnic, a motion picture that starred William Holden. It went to number 4 on Billboard's Hot 100. It would be George Cates' biggest hit. And it's at number 11 on WJJD's survey.